lovelies, welcome back to the manifestation community. If you're new here, I'm Tia.
And I'm Leah.
And we are the Manifestation Sisters.
On this channel, we talk everything mindset and manifestation. We are here to help you rise and reach your truest potential and simplify manifestation.
In this video, we're going to be talking about it's not about them, it's about you and what that actually means. So stay tuned.
I'll be your light.
But before we jump in, we just want to let you know that we have our self-concept workbook that is actually launched by the time you're watching this video. So the link for that is in the description box down below. That's really going to help you to up-level your self-concept and embody the version of you that has what they want. We also have our one-on-one coaching if you want to work with myself or Tia, and links to that are in the description box down below.
So what do we mean by it's not about them, it's about you? There's no one to change but self. Everyone on this planet is a reflection to you and what you believe. So you're perceiving situations and experiences and people based upon your inner felt experience, your inner belief system, what you dominantly believe about yourself in relation to all them other areas. So when we're doing all the tools and the techniques and we have clients come into us and their dominant focus is on this person, on this thing that they want to either experience or manifest in, they're coming from a place of one, thinking that they need to change that person or that experience or that thing to get what they want, and two, they're not understanding that person, that experience or something that they want is just reflecting them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when we become conscious to manifestation, we start to realise that we can actually manifest anything we want, a person, an experience, whatever it is. We then start to do this work as from a standpoint of trying to get. I'm not saying everyone does this, but I know in my own journey, when I first started to learn about conscious manifestation, I was doing it to try and get something, to get someone. But what I had to realise was, like Tia said, there is no one to change but self. So this is why the self-concept work is so key. And we hear it over and over. You hear it from us, you hear it from other coaches. And the reason why we all say this is because you are your foundation. You are the source of everything in your life. You should be your main focus. And so much of our energy sometimes is going outwardly on this 3D, trying to control and manipulate and force things into our reality. But that's not what we need to do. We need to get clear on what it is we want, what beliefs we're opposing to the thing that we want, and we start to work on our self-concept. We start to build ourselves up. We start to become the main focus in our life, and the energy starts to be more focused on that, in turn manifesting the things we want in a lot more easier. When it comes to being outwardly focused, oftentimes people are doing this because they're so focused on time, they're focused on it's been this long, I've been doing this, I've been doing that, and you have to really get clear and honest and real with yourself and say, am I doing all of this stuff to try and get something or someone, or am I doing it for me, to become the best version of myself, to really enjoy my experience and live my best life?
And you touched upon an important thing of like, it's the shift. It's no longer you trying to get and manipulate these things outside of you, but it's you simply becoming the change you wish to experience. We get it so often, and we see the questions, whether it's in regards to wanting to manifest money, or wanting to manifest an SP, or wanting to manifest a physical change. Everything is a mirror to our internal state of being, what we dominantly think, feel and believe about ourselves, the perceptions we have and the assumptions that we hold. That is creating our reality. So when you are thinking about things you want to manifest, whether that be a person, money, experience or situation or circumstance, you're not affirming to change. You're not doing the technique to change them. You're doing the technique to create internal shifts within yourself, to convince yourself, shift your belief system that you are this person, you deserve this thing. And then how you show up in the 3D experience, what you think about the 3D experience, how you interact with the 3D experience will start to change. Because what is the shift there? I'm no longer going out and trying to force these things into my experience. I'm simply, like I always say, becoming the change, sitting back in my creator seat as a conscious creator and creating them shifts internally. So what do we mean by this? What is the internal shifts that we make? And it goes down to what Leah touched upon, the foundation of yourself. What do you believe to be true for yourself? How do you perceive situations? If you've currently got a circumstance or a situation that isn't favourable and you're currently trying to change it, let's take SP for an example. They're not giving you consistent communication, they're not giving you commitment. What does that say about yourself? Because we think that we need to go out and convince this person that we are the love of their life. Then we want to do our self-concept to maybe see them change because it's going to make us feel better, instead of becoming the person that is worthy, that is enough, that has a dominant good story about relationships always working out for them. And once they shift that inner knowing in themselves, then that person must conform to their self-concept, their belief system, their assumptions about themselves. And that's what the shift is.
Yeah, and you just said that so beautifully, because when we start to build a strong foundational self-concept, it is then easier for us to believe that someone would want to be with us, that we're worthy of having money, that of course I can make an appearance change. Whatever it is you're wanting to manifest or you desire, you're gonna naturally have an assumption that yes, I can have this thing. Yes, this person would want to be with me. I'm so incredible. I'm so amazing. Of course I get to experience this, because you've built yourself up with your self-concept, and now you're seeing yourself and perceiving your reality from the eyes of someone that knows their worth and their value.
Yeah. And that leads us perfectly on to the principles when we're getting the clients and stuff in. The reason why the SB hasn't changed is because you haven't changed. You are doing this work from a place of getting rather than a place of becoming. And the success that we see in our clients, even in our own life, is because we're doing this work for ourselves. I'm not doing this thing to make my boyfriend act a certain way. I'm not creating these shifts with myself for him to show up differently. Although that's a bonus, I do these things because I want to believe in my own worth, my own value, and know that I am worthy and deserving to experience these things. So therefore them experiences come into my life. So simply put, guys, if you're having experiences where you're feeling like your SB isn't changing, they're not conforming, it's simply because you haven't changed on some level. And it's not to say that you have to have a perfect self-concept or you need to constantly be this version of yourself, but you want to dominantly tip the scale and persist and conform and change your inner experience, your inner beliefs, and then they will conform to that change.
Exactly, because, you know, we've said it many times before, when you've built a strong foundational self-concept, it doesn't mean that it has to be perfect, like Tia just said, but you're now operating from the version of you that knows that of course anyone would want to be with me because I'm amazing. Of course I'm worthy and deserving of having whatever I want because I deserve it. Of course I get to have everything I want because I am the creator of my reality and I say what goes. So as you build a strong foundational self-concept, then it's easy for you to hold natural assumptions about your experiences and people. Your perception and your lens will change of how you view your reality. And that's just simply how it is. So how then do we start to shift our focus and attention on ourselves? We're working on our self-concept. You want to start living your best life. You want to really start enjoying your reality. What does the version of you look like who's out there living their life, that has this blissful relationship, that has the appearance that you want, or the business you want, or the finances you want? How is that person showing up for themselves? How is that person living their life? It's a completely different version to you that's completely outwardly focusing your energy outside of yourself. You want to put your attention and your focus back on yourself more dominantly. And it's not to say you can't think about those things. Of course we're going to think about the things that we desire, but we are dominantly thinking about ourselves, how incredible we are, how amazing we are, how worthy and valuable we are, and we're enjoying our reality. We're going out with friends and family, we're experiencing people in a favourable way, we're being more compassionate, we're doing our hobbies, we're working out, we're taking care of our mental and emotional well-being, we are stabilising ourselves when we need to, we're doing all the things we need to for ourselves to really see ourselves in a favourable way, in a self-loving way, in a self-accepting way, building our self-worth and our self-value in a sense. And then what reflection are we going to see when we're hyper-focused more on ourselves dominantly than outwardly on other people or things?
The reason why as well, if we keep reiterating this, is when you're outwardly focused and you're putting your attention and your focus on them in order to get them to change, when you take that energy back off of them, put it on yourself, you drop your resistance naturally, because you're no longer coming from a natural assumption, a natural belief system. You're no longer continuing to identify with the version of you that doesn't have this thing, that needs this thing. I need him to change in order to make me feel good. Keeps reiterating the fact that, one, your happiness is dependent on that person, and two, I have a natural belief system and natural assumptions that I may not be worthy, I may not be chosen, I don't have this thing. So when you simply drop the focus and attention that you're putting on them and put it back on yourself, then you get to choose who you are. Then you get to decide where you're putting your attention, your focus and your energy. Because I am the creator of my reality. And then they start to reflect that change.
Yeah.
We do this work because we are changing us, not just to change them, but to become the version of us, like Leah said. Who is that version of you that has the relationship? Who is the version of you that is happily, blissfully married? Who is the version of you that has the money, the abundance, the success, the career? What does that look like? Do some self-exploration with yourself. Journal down, what does the version of myself look like in this area if I had this desire?
Yeah, and then you want to start operating in your daily life and building this habit, building these practices for yourself, because it is a practice, it's a journey, you know, and that's what the fun part is. It's us really stepping into the version of ourselves that feels high value, high worth, knows that we get to have everything we want, because it's your birthright to have everything you want. And we used to say that so many times in our old videos, and I thought I'd just throw that back in there because it really is, and you get to have the life that you want to live. And wouldn't you rather be the version of yourself that is so focused on their own life that they're allowing other people to show up based on how they treat themselves? Because your world, as we always say, is treating you based on how you're treating yourself. It's showing up, you're getting reflections based on how you view yourself. So the work is really the internal shifts first, and then we see that external shift on the outside. And oftentimes people are looking at time, it's been so many months, it's, you know, I'm not seeing any movement, because you're so outwardly focused still. You're not being like, do you know what, how can I show up for myself the best version today? What can I do for myself? What routine can I have for myself, to focus on myself, to make myself feel good, to ground myself in my stability and my self-worth, my self-value and self-love? And when you predominantly operate from that standpoint, things are going to move very quickly in your reality, because you're now not coming from a state of lack and absence. You're coming from a state of, I have it already, it's already done, I trust myself. If feeling for you is like, I already have it, is too much, you can just say, I know it's going to happen. So you want to operate from that standpoint more so than the version of you that's currently operating from the state that's saying, I need this to change, their behaviour needs to change, I'm not seeing this change, then the change happens.
And if you need help doing that, guys, go get the Shift Yourself concept workbook, because we talk you through the exact steps of how to step into and embody the version of you that has your desires. We just wanted to remind you guys that it's not about them, it's about you. If you're currently outwardly focused and putting all your attention on these circumstances, these people, these experiences, it's time to go within and create the shifts that you want to experience internally.
Yes, and then you will see that outward reflection. It's really that simple. And I know sometimes on this journey it doesn't feel as simple, because we're updating our outdated programming that says, you know, we don't get what we want, to the version of us now that does get what they want. And it will become easier, you know, and you just got to keep going and persisting and knowing that your reality will catch up with your internal reality at some point. So please give us a thumb up and a like, share and subscribe this video, as it helps us grow the channel and our community. All the links are in the description down below if you want to work with myself or Tia, and also sign up for the guide. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.